Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. I welcome you to this week's Sentinel. The Sentinel is the media arm of Citygate Ministries International. And my name is Reverend Cyril Okere. You're welcome. Please, I would actually like this to be interactive if I can help it. I would like it to people to interact with me because the burden I carry tonight does not lend itself to a monologue. I would like it to be kind of shared, through an interaction by the viewers, so that it's not just me talking, because my heart is heavy. Okay, that's the first thing I need to say. The second point I need to raise is that those of you who are not Nigerians, please forgive me. This evening is meant to address issues that are immediately and directly pertinent to Nigerian condition, to Nigeria. But it doesn't mean that there cannot be lessons and principles extrapolated for the benefit of other nationals. So please, if you can help it, don't switch off on me. Just hang in there and interact, because this is about humanity. This is about our shared humanity. So it relates to, every one of us. But I'm going to put it in the context of the contemporary happenings in Nigeria. Okay. The title I gave tonight's talk, reflection, which is likely to continue because, again, until I discharge the weight of what's in my heart, I will continue to dwell on it. I don't want to suffer depression. A pastor friend of mine used to say, impression without expression leads to depression. Something had been impressed on me, on my heart. I need to discharge the burden. Lest I suffer. I need to express it. Lest I suffer depression. Which I don't want to go there. Okay. Father, I want to thank you. I commit tonight's discussion into your hand, oh God. I just ask that your will be done, your kingdom come, concerning each and every one of us, concerning your word, concerning Nigeria as a nation. Whatever your will is, Lord, we submit to it. In the name of Jesus Christ. I want to also pray for the family and friends of the latest matter in Nigeria, as we know today. Reported ones. Deborah Yakubu Samuel. I pray that you, even as you gather her soul to your bosom, that you comfort the family, strengthen them, O God. Give them a token of your assurance. I pray that you help them to bear this loss. I pray for her friends, the Christian communities she fellowship with on campus. That your presence will comfort them, you reassure them. I pray, oh God, for the Christian community and communities and believers in Sokoto State in particular, northern Nigeria by extension. I pray for Reverend Dr. Kuka, Matthew Kuka, and his congregation, and the people he oversees and presides over and ministers to. Yes, Lord, the Archbishop of Catholic Church Sokoto. I pray for his safety. Oh God, let the angels surround him, encamp around him, oh God, and around his people. And that which the enemy has eaten, that which the cankerworm, the locust and the caterpillar, the palmer worm, eating, oh God, in relation to the destruction that's happened in the church by the enemies of the gospel. Father, I pray, Lord, that you restore according to your promise. Grant peace to the church in Nigeria, especially in northern Nigeria. Grant peace to the Christians and homes. Bring the deliverance for them. Stand mightily, powerfully, O God, in their defense. Lord, we pray that, O God, you arise and do something in that land. Enough of the blood of the innocent being shed. In Jesus' name. Amen. Okay. Yes, if you can hear from the prayer I was praying, they mentioned Deborah Yakubu Samuel. Those who have not heard, I don't think that there's any Nigerian who is aware and who is connected to the social media, who reads newspapers, who listen to news, that has not heard of the tragic blood-chilling murder of this young lady by not the rabble on the streets, but by her fellow students at the Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto, northern Nigeria, northwest Nigeria. That's the latest reported latest, because every day in Nigeria people are killed, notably Christians, mostly. The other Muslims are okay, other people do, other adherents or adherents of other religions are also killed. But primarily, the primary targets are Christians. And usually the killers are, the fanatic Muslims. Not every Muslim, mind you, but the fanatical ones and the jihadists and those that they can, those mindless ones they can influence, the zombified urchins. So Deborah was lynched, beaten, lynched, and put to torch for allegedly insulting the Muslim prophet or the prophet of Islam. The painful thing about it is this. Yes, I will understand. I'm not here. I will never. And I've spoken against people picking on other people's religion and ridiculing other people's religion. And I've spoken against that. It is not right. It's not helpful to do that. It's good to respect people's whatever they believe in. Okay, you respect them for their choice. Christianity teaches that, they say honor all men. Honor all men. They say honor only Christians. You respect people. You might disagree with them in terms of what they believe. In terms of belief is a system of thought. Belief is an idea. So we can disagree on ideas, but not to be objectionable and mean about our differences. That said, I condemn totally, and I can't use is any stronger word to use. I condemn, I oppose vehemently the idea that somebody's life could be snuffed out just because they disagree with you, or they made a statement, they say something that you find offensive. Something that you find offensive, either from the ideological perspective, or religious, or cultural. No, that cannot be allowed in a so-called civilized society. Now, in the northern Nigeria, some ill-meaning, hypocritical, and inept politicians, just to opiate, if I can use that word, the people, to hypnotize, when they can't provide the basics of life, that political leadership is supposed to provide for the people. They can't provide education for the people. They can't provide good health. They can't provide employment for the people. They can't, engage the people in meaningful and constructive enterprise and endeavors. They came up in enacting Sharia, in across the 12 Nigerian northern states, starting from Zamfara. And the governor who started this was the same governor who as a senate, went to Egypt to marry a 13-year-old girl to what is married. To really basically adopt a 13-year-old girl. Yes, paid money to the parents as what? A bride, 13-year-old. A pedophile. And when there was a move in the House of in the Senate to amend the Constitution so that girls, in particular, they are granted the protection from early marriages, so that they can go to school, at least get to age 18 before they get married. It is this same governor that raised an alarm in the Senate, Nigeria Senate, to say that, well, this is an attack. He says it's an attack on Islam. And so that motion was, that bill was defeated. So he was one that's if I remember his name now, Sani Yerima, Governor Yerima Sani or something like that, the former governor of Zamfara State. So from Zamfara to other the whole 12 tribes around out of 19 in northern the 12 states out of 19 in northern Nigeria, they operate Sharia system. Now, okay, granted, the Sharia, of course, the Sharia system that they now say they practice, of course, has no answer for those of them who steal from the state coffers. Those of them who, in fact, many of them, including that governor, who stole from the state's coffers, who abused their offices. The Sharia, the provisions of Sharia cannot hold them accountable. It's the poor, it's the needy, it's the deprived, already deprived, that when caught, pay for it. They're stealing maybe chicken or goat. Their hands are cut off. Their hands or legs are hacked off. When maybe there's some offenses women will commit, they are asked to know they are condemned to death by stoning. Meanwhile, these people do worse things. They are leaders. Of course, because of the lack of education by the majority of the people, they are swept along. And so, fine. In the case of Deborah, in a Sinai environment, even a Sinai Sharia ruled environment, she would have been, yes, arrested and taken to the Sharia court. Okay, even that. In Nigeria, the way it's supposed to happen, Sharia court, if you're a non-Muslim, you shouldn't actually be taken to Sharia court, because you don't believe in the system, in that system. But okay, be that as it may, if she was taken to the Sharia court and then they hear that everybody has the right to be heard in court, to defend themselves, and then to be faced by the accusers, and then they are found guilty, and whatever punishment then that's stipulated, okay, we are beginning to, even if whatever punishment that is that is imposed on that person, they still have the right to appeal. Yeah, before that punishment is implemented. But none of this was granted to Deborah. She was stoned. Even the thing that could have provoked her to say that, because I've heard people say, some people who have lived in northern Nigeria, who say to you that these people, a lot of times when they kill Christians, even for blasphemy, they will provoke you. They will say something. They will say something nasty about your faith. They will goad you. The other woman that was thankfully released after many years from Pakistan? Biba something. I've forgotten her name now. We used to pray for her a lot. Why? Because there was maybe with our fellow women, there was just argument and quarreling, and this one said this one said this back. In that kind of quarreling, things are said, and suddenly, before you know it, whether the prophet or the Allah was directly mentioned or not, they start shouting Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Before you know it, a mob comes and to release the person. But thankfully, at least they took her to court, and all that with the unfair court hearing that happened. At least that was a process. But eventually, due to international pressure, she was released. Thank God. But Deborah was not taken to anywhere. She came out of class and she was stoned. She was stoned by men, fellow students. This is not like the people who know those fellow students in the college of education who are training to be teachers. Can you imagine the kind of students, influence these people. These barbarians will have on their future students. That is northern Nigeria in particular, and Nigeria as a whole. So I dedicate this session to her. But, yeah, because her death, it weighed heavy on me since I learned about it. And I raised a number of questions concerning Nigeria as a country, as a nation, where we are heading, whether we are serious, and where is leadership in all of this. Let me quickly read scripture then. Let me, before we go on. This, yes. I want to read Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. I want to read from verse 5, and I'm reading from Amplified version. Amplified. I read from Amplified version, and also I have to read from Message. Chapter 10 says, there is an evil I have seen under the sun, like an error which proceeds from the ruler. 6. Folly is set in many exalted places. Hear that? Folly, stupidity, is set in many exalted places and in great dignity, while the rich sit in humble places. I've seen slaves riding on horses and princes walking like slaves on the ground. Hear that? Okay. Let me read it from Message. So here's a piece of bad business I've seen on this earth. An error that can be blamed on whoever is in charge. This situation we see in Nigeria, we blame it on the leadership, not just this correct one, or this correct leadership of General Muhammad Buhari has been the worst, but it did not start today. An error that can be blamed on whoever is in charge. Immaturity is given a place of prominence, while maturity is made to take a back seat. I've seen unproven upstarts riding in style, while experienced veterans are put out to pasture. Let's read the Proverbs 19:10, and have a choice of. Okay, let's start from the version. It says, luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a servant to rule over princes. Perhaps let's say amplified on that. Luxury is not fitting for a fool, much less for a slave to rule over princes. Okay, same. Okay. You hear that? Contemporary English version. It isn't right for a fool to live in luxury or for a slave to rule in place of a king. A slave. A slave. People who can't even think for themselves. They are in place of influence. And that's why we have dearth of leadership in Nigeria. Okay, let me read another one. The last thing we read here, Proverbs. In fact, let me open it. Proverbs 30. Yeah, Proverbs 30. Look at it on NKJV. Okay, Proverbs 30. What does it say? I'll read from verse 21 to 23. For 3 things the earth is disturbed. Yes, for 4 it cannot bear up. For a servant when he reigns, or a slave when he reigns. a fool when he's filled with food. Okay? I'll leave it there. Okay, so from this, what we're seeing, talk about an aberration, a reverse of the state of affairs. Let me see if anybody is there now. Hey, my brother, Yakubu, how are you? Good evening. Greetings, greetings. God bless you, and thank you for your good work too. Yes, yes, I've been following what you've been doing. God bless. You're a veteran. Okay, yeah. Okere, thank you. Yes, yeah. All right. So when things are, the state of order or state of affairs are put upside down, when you have people who are not qualified to smell the cockpit of power, they are the ones, by some kind of national dysfunctionality, that yes, they are the ones that are put there. They find themselves there, either by power of money, or by power of godfatherism, or by virtue of whatever. They are the ones that find themselves in place of power. That's where Nigeria is, and it did not start today. So that you have people, God is not wicked now. I always say God is not wicked. People who are qualified, there are many people, talented people who are qualified to govern that nation and turn this around. But no, they will not get there because the system is so dysfunctional. The constitution is so constrictive and corruptive that it can only boil up and float people, the dregs, degenerates, and those are the ones that be in a commanding position, and we wonder why there's no light. As I always say, how can there be light when there's no light in the brain, in the mentality, in the attitude, in the way of thinking? There's no illumination, intellectual or motor or cognitive. It's not there. Then how can we, are we surprised that there's no light? The whole place is in darkness? I pray may the soul of Deborah Yakubu Samuel rest in peace. May her soul rest in peace. I mean, if she was lynched on the streets of Sokoto, and I say, okay, these are people who look at Marjorie's or whoever. Then she was killed. Okay, sorry, just went, sorry guys. She was killed by her classmates, her fellow students. They will say called members of intelligentsia, the intelligentsia, who have been trained to train others, to teach kids, to influence children, to raise leaders of tomorrow. These are the people that killed in the most barbaric way and boasted about it. And you begin to think about reactions, and that's where it gets more terrible. You have a professor Islamic professor. When I say Islamic professor, I don't know how. I'm sorry, I don't know his discipline. I don't know whether it's a discipline, his discipline in Islamic studies or Sharia, or whatever, or he's just a professor of something else who happened to be a Muslim. He spoke about, yes, that that people should learn how not to cross so certain lines. The things that Muslims consider as red lines. So he clearly and emphatically justified the slaughter and barbecue of Deborah Samuel. He justified it. He said, I'm saying he or she, it's a man. Yeah, he justified it. Then you have some other people too who have spoken up. But I want to give salute. I want to salute some Muslims. If you want to see, who spoke vehemently. These are Muslims. These are, yeah, adherents of Islamic teachings. They spoke. They condemned the killings, or the killing, in no uncertain terms. And I want to salute them. I want to say, pay my regard to them for speaking out. Because in a situation like this, they say the first victim of when they say war, not just war, but it's in the state of anomie. The first victim is really the truth. And I always say, people that, because people say without peace, no, without justice, no peace. Yeah, that must be up with the touch. He's asking for equal right. He said, but it's equal right and justice. Without justice, they say there's no peace, and that's true. And of course, without peace, there's no progress. But I like to again put something, another component, another element, to that chain, and that is, without truth, there cannot be justice. So truth is at the foundation of civilization. If you don't have truth, we can't have justice. But that's why when you go to court, they say, do you swear to say the truth, or do you declare to say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? If you say no, I don't, then okay, that means you are guilty. Go to where you deserve. Because there can't be justice if you remove truth. So without truth, there cannot be justice, and without justice, there cannot be peace, and without peace, there cannot be progress. Do you see where we are? Do you see where we are? Okay. So I want to greet those people who feel that this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, this is wrong. But apart from those ones, I have no respect for people who cannot stand out to be counted. The political leaders, many of them are silent. Those who are vying for offices to become president and whatever in come 2023, they're silent. The one Atiku, the former vice president, who tweeted earlier condemning it, of course, got the anger and disapproval of people, from those zones who say we're not going to vote for you, and he quickly retracted it. He quickly retracted what he wrote, and then said, "Oh, he didn't authorize the first tweet." So where is leadership in all this? The leadership has cowered, and then leaving the urchins, leaving the jagudas, the area boys to roam the street and destroy things and you know, see, like it says, yes, without truth, no justice. And the truth is that everyone is created valuable and equal in God's image and are worthy of respect. Definitely. 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 If you say something against my faith, and people do. People do. Was it which other which bank was that? That the Nigeria that said is it agege bread? Is it that Jesus rose like agege bread or something of that? You know, that was offensive. That was offensive, and the worst that could be done is like, okay, I withdraw my services or my patronage. Yeah, I no, that's it. I vote with my legs, and okay, speak out when I need to speak out to condemn it. But to say, okay, go and burn down the bank or kill somebody, no, now, because they are created in God's image, whether they agree with me or not. God made them, and I don't have any right to take anybody's life. God will, I mean, obviously, God will fight for himself. God, and that's, if I have to fight for the God I say I believe in, instead of that God fighting for me, then what kind of God is that? Think about it. God is supposed to take care of me. Now, it's me now going to fight to defend God. You better examine that God. You better examine that God. The God that I have to prop up and defend and kill for. Examine what you're worshiping. I leave it there. Okay, so what we read before, it says it's an evil that I've seen under the sun. It's an error which proceeds from the rulers or the leaders or leadership, either directly, their direct influence, or lack of influence. When stupidity, folly is set in many exotic places. In Nigeria, you have different people, like people who, the person who is in charge of the ICT, the minister, you know, that one is a supporter of terrorism. You know, everybody knows it. The international community, the international community knows it. The president knows it, but the president still retains him there. Does it make sense? Is that not stupidity? Folly is set in many exalted places, and in great dignity, while in rich city in humble places. I've seen slaves riding on horses and princes walking like slaves. And you expect these people with slave mentality. You expect the people with undeveloped, unevolved mentality to produce civilization? No, now. No. That's why Nigeria is so talented, though. See Nigeria doing great things in music, doing great things in the movie industry, in fashion, in academia, all over the world, in different fields of life. But why is our nation like this? In science and the ICT, young Nigerians everywhere, in design, in literature, in every aspect of human endeavor and civilization. But somehow, in terms of politics, we don't seem to get it right, because we put people, avaricious people, people who don't understand anything about leadership, people who don't care, people who are egocentric, who only care about themselves, and they are the ones that will do anything, including kill, maim, and destroy to get to power. And when they get there, when it's time for leadership to stand up and make a statement, they won't. They're not there. Now, another thing, of course, is broadly speaking, we talk about democracy. Do we want to be, really, Nigerians, do we want to be a democratic country or not? Democracy is governed by rule of law. It runs by rule of law. We have a situation where Nigeria, of course, we have laws. We have laws, but first of all, the president thinks that he's above the law. And so some of his ministers are above the law. Attorney General is above the law. Governor of Central Bank is above the law. So who then should uphold the law? And so that's why you have a situation where the killers of Deborah were said to be arrested. Well, a couple of them, and all hell has broken loose in Sokoto and some other parts of northern Nigeria, because people, murderers, broad daylight murderers, were arrested. Not even just arrested. And I saw the crowd of people who went to protest to the Sultan. Who's that place? Sultan? What was it? Yeah, the Sokoto guy, Sultan. The crowd of angry people who are questioning the authority of the security agents to arrest killers. And as so they are let loose and they destroy things, targeting, of course, the usual targets, targeting people's businesses, targeting people, beating people. I saw them, because people who broke the law, who took the law in their hands, were arrested. Not tortured, just arrested. So in this state of this righteous state, what can the law? The law is too weak, because you see, the law enforcers, the law officers are compromised, and there's no leadership to enforce and dictate what should happen. And so what do we have? Rambos, Jagudas, area boys, Yobs, villains. They take over the streets. What can control them? Who can control them? Is it the police? Some of whom are sympathizers? Is it soldiers? Some of whom are sympathizers? Do you now wonder why we're still battling with Boko Haram and the various offshoots of Boko Haram? The killer herdsmen, the bandits that the government totally impotent to do anything about. So, with that rule of law, no democracy. See, when I hear people argue about Nigeria, why we should break apart and all that, I understand the argument. I understand the pain. I understand. But some of the reasons they give, it doesn't sound right to me. For example, they say to you, "Yeah, we are too complex, so we should break it. We are not one. We don't speak one language. We don't have one." It's like, you mean because my wife is Yoruba from Ondo State. I'm from Owerri, State. We've been married now this year, making it 31 years. 31 years of good marriage, good marriage, happy marriage, exemplary marriage. Why? We don't speak the same language. So, I don't know. So, okay, I say, okay, just one man, one woman. The same principle. If I'm treating her unfairly or she's not respecting me, you think we will last this long? Of course not. So there are things that glue nations together. Not because we speak the same language, because they're people of the same father, the same mother, who are daggers drawn. who don't see eye to eye, because that relationship, although yes, consanguineous relationship, no, they share the same blood, but there's no, they don't operate in truth, in honesty, in mutual respect and mutual assistance, support. Relationship becomes cannibalistic, becomes parasitical. Dog eat dog in same family. So the idea that okay, we have Igbos, Yorubas, Ifufide. In fact, I love Nigerian diversity. It's unbelievable. I so love it. In fact, look me. I don't know of any person. Whenever I used to go to the church, you see Nigerians from every week. You see new Nigerians in church. So I say, oh, where are you from? Maybe I heard them speaking a language that's so strange to me. I don't understand at all. So well, I love languages, and part of my studies in university, my first degree was linguistics. So I love languages. So I heard them talk. So, oh, what language is that? They say, oh, the mission was. Oh, I never heard of that. I never heard of that before. Which country is that? They say Nigeria. So whoa, I feel proud. I feel wow. That's part of my heritage. I feel proud about it. I see somebody dressed somehow. Oh, well, this attire, where is it? They say Nigeria. Oh, I love it. I love it. I feel enriched by our diversity, even if I don't understand your language. I love it. You have the richness of the music. So it's like some people say no, because of that diversity we cannot be a nation. But the faith to address the things and the people who are preventing us from evolving as a nation, and that is the neglect of law. We don't respect rule of law. It's like my people. Someone from my tribe does something, then I protect them. If someone from another tribe does it, I say, yeah, let them have it. It can't work like that. It cannot work like that. So we are the ones that are messing Nigeria up. It's us. It's us. It's us. I think I'll leave that. I'll continue next week, because there are a few things that need to be raised. The cowardice of leadership. Have what I call the democracy of rascals, because these are those hordes of villains I see there on the streets. They are the ones, this election to come tomorrow, they are the ones that are going to queue, some of them underage, who are going to elect who is going to be our president, who are going to be governors. And these are the ones senseless. They have no brain, no critical thinking. And who do you think they will elect? Somebody who will come and tell you about policies, tell you about the vision of a nation? No, of course, it's whoever throws corn or sachet of Gary and Maggie cubes to them. Those are the people they're going to vote for. And so those ones are going to put their kind, who go there and wreck the nation further. That's why we are where we are. Okay, I will continue this week. I'll leave it here. Thank you for listening. I won't belabor it. Next week I continue. But until I still feel heavy about the death of this girl. Hey, my brother. Reggie, how are you? You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, so God bless us. God bless, God help the nation. God save Nigeria. Nigeria is in soup. Nigeria is in soup. If God does not help that nation, nothing can be done. Nothing can be done. We've gone far. We kill people. We kill people and we celebrate it. Even not professors celebrate the murder of the innocent. Anyway, we've gone far. God help us. God bless you, Reg, and Cyril Okere, and my brother friend Adeni Yokuno. God bless you. Thank you for your company this evening. I leave it there. To continue next week. Am I going to vote? Am I going to vote? Reggie asked me. Am I going to? No, I don't have the PVC. I've not been to Nigeria for some years now. So, so I'm not going to vote. Am I? So no, I'm sure you're going to say something about it. I'm not going to vote. Are you going to vote? Are you going to vote, Reggie? Do you have PVC? Okay, okay. I will. I will. I'll be going now. Hold on, please. I should get in now. I should get in now. Okay, I should get it now. How do I get it? I've not been to Nigeria for a long time. Uh, okay, not got it, not yet. Another thing that might motivate me again is when we see the parties, particularly well, the parties when they come up with, I think by June they should submit who their presidential candidates are. Um, if I see uh, maybe if a flag bearer that excites me, that might motivate me. But if I don't, because of course some of them are bribing, they are bribing their way through the potential delegates. If I don't, and it's like choosing between what and what, I don't know. Then I might not be motivated to go and get PVC to vote for who. So let me watch. I'm watching the parties and who they come up with. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you, Reggie, for taking me to task. Putting my leg to fire. Okay, and God bless you, everyone. Bye bye. See you next week. And again, this has been the Sentinel, which is the media arm of Citygate Ministries International. And all that is recorded can be found on Citygate TV. That's our YouTube channel. And any information about us and what we do can be checked out on our website, citygateministries.org.uk. And of course, you can send us email, communicate with us, correspond with us via our email address info@citygateministries.org.uk. With that, I say God bless you. Have a great week. Bye bye.